During the season of Space Time Smackdown, I probably had my best overall competitive performance in this game, having my first ever win of a 600 person tournament, having two top 8s with Greninja Darkrai and then Dialga Mega, as well as another top 16 top cut with Greninja Darkrai. You might be thinking, well, you only had 4 good placements. That's actually not a lot. We have to remember that Space Time Smackdown actually only lasted a month. Not only that, but personally, I didn't actually enter a lot of tournaments that month compared to what I usually do. So the fact that out of like 8 to 9 tournaments, I actually had 4 top cuts, obviously, you know, 2 being top 8s and then 1 being a win. I just thought that was extremely good for what I usually do. Yeah, I really just thought that was a very good competitive season for me personally, especially after Mythical Island, where I had a very strong beginning. But then I had a very bad ending where I couldn't actually make another top cut until Space Time Smackdown. Where Space Time Smackdown, I had a very good beginning, getting 2 top cuts right away. And I also had a very strong ending where I actually ended up winning a tournament. Unlike many others, I actually really liked the meta of Space Time Smackdown. We had a lot of cool decks. I know Magnezone was everywhere. We had Darkrai Magnezone, Skarmory Magnezone. We had, there's another Magnezone deck that I can't remember. We also had Greninja Darkrai. We had Mega Dialga. We had Palkia, Gyarados, Charizard. We had the Magnezone fighting deck. That's what it was. We had a lot of variety for the meta, I feel like. And I don't think stuff like Palkia was too oppressive then, because one, they didn't have Irida, and then two, we had like Magnezone keeping it at bay. So I feel like there's a lot of diversity in the meta until like the last week when everyone just started playing Celebi Executor, which at that point I do think the meta became a little bit boring because everyone was just playing the same deck. Like I feel like 90% of the tournaments I looked at, everyone was just playing Executor Celebi. And like I said, I don't think the deck was like too oppressive. I don't think it was too annoying. But at the same time, when everyone is playing the same deck and the meta is the same, it just gets very boring. Fast forward to Triumphant Light, where because of Space Time Smackdown, I feel like I'm probably at the peak of my competitiveness. I won't lie, after I won the tournament, I feel like the flame died down a little bit. But it definitely did come back with the new set because, you know, the meta is going to be new. And yeah, I had a very good first day tournament, losing to Misty. And I ended up losing to Misty from a Palkia player. Then my next opponent was an 18 card Articuno player where I actually lost to Misty again. And just because I'm placing against a water deck, I'm not going to claim I lost to Misty. If, you know, if they didn't Misty me, they didn't Misty me, they won fair and square. But I'm gonna be honest, if someone beats me because of Misty, or if I beat someone because of Misty, I'm not going to claim I beat them with the deck. I'm going to claim I beat them with the card. So I actually still could have made top cut, but because I had those 2 losses, the Misties, I ended up losing to an 18 card Pachirisu because, you know, they just outplayed me. They just started second, I believe, in more games than me. And I think the last game I did brick, but I think they also bricked the first game. So like I can't really say anything about that. It was just like a fair and square set. Fast forward to, I ended up competing in 6 tournaments, counting the one I was just talking about. And in those 6 tournaments, 4 out of 6, I lost to Misty flips. At this point, I actually started to hate the game. I did not like the meta. Like, I was constantly talking crap about Misty. I was talking crap about the meta just because I thought it was very boring. It was Arceus, Rampardos, and then whatever water variant of Palkia or Articuno you are playing. And then for my 7th tournament, I entered in Arceus, the huge tournament on Saturday/Sunday, which I usually don't get to compete in. Although my favorite deck was Leafy on Celebi, I just don't think that deck is strong enough to actually win a big tournament like this. So I went in with Arceus Dialga, so I can't complain. And after 6.5 hours of playing very well, I actually lost to an 18 card Articuno player who landed 3 Misty flips on turn 1 on the first game. Turn 2, they or game 2 of the set, they went first. They used the Misty, they landed 0. And then the next turn, they ended up landing 2 Misty flips, and because it was their turn, they could just put the 3 on or the last energy for the third on Articuno. So I literally lost after 6.5 hours to Misty once again, making that 5 out of 7 tournaments. After losing to Misty so many times and not liking the meta, I thought Arceus and Rampardos was very boring. I feel like this is the most boring meta we've ever had. I know it's kind of similar to back in the day in Genetic Apex when we only had a couple of top tier decks. We had like Pikachu, Mewtwo, and Arcanine Charizard / like Starmie and stuff. But I just feel like Arceus and Rampardos, I don't know, it's just for me boring. Not only that, but every time I go against a Misty player or like a water deck player, I have actually lost the Misty. I mean, yeah, sometimes in the sets they cannot play me, but like if they win that one game because of Misty, that just, you know, it just gives them that extra win. So it makes them winning the second game out of a best of 3 just such a higher chance in the next 2 games. And my favorite deck, like I said, was Leafeon Celebi, which I actually didn't think was too good. I think it's like a B tier deck in the meta. So after that Arceus tournament, I'm not gonna lie, I was in a very bad state. I didn't really want to compete anymore. 1, because of Misty. 2, I don't really like Arceus or Rampardos, or just not my style of decks. Leafeon Celebi is like too bad for me if I actually want to win. Although I could still play for tournaments for fun, which I actually was planning on doing for Venusaur. But I ended up deciding, why should I keep complaining about Misty? Nothing's gonna happen to it. Why don't I actually play Misty in a water deck, and let's see if I could actually win a tournament / do good. So I was looking at all the water decks. 18 card Articuno is too boring for me. Same with 18 card Palkia. Traditional Palkia is what I was looking at, but then I was also noticing that a Glaceon deck did very good in the Sprangles tournament. So I took that as inspiration. I ended up making my own version of it. That is more like a traditional Palkia Vaporeon built with Glaceon as an addition. And yeah, I actually ended up winning the tournament. Playing Misty, a card that I've been complaining about for the whole month, if not the last 2 months, which is very ironic because I was also a huge Celebi hater back in Mythical Island, and then obviously I won with Celebi during Space Time Smackdown. So it turns out every time I play a card that I absolutely hate, I guess I will just win with it. Also, fun fact, this is the first time I feel like I've actually played a top tier deck in the meta, and I didn't play it against a single water deck. So all I'm gonna say, didn't face against a water deck and I won. So this is the deck I decided to play in the tournament. And before I talk about this deck, so like I said, in the Sprangles tournament, this is the deck I took inspiration from, which was a more Glaceon focus version with only 1 Palkia. But the reason I ended up playing 2 Palkias is because I just think Palkia is probably the second best EX currently in the game. I think obviously Arceus is the best, and the reason I'm not saying Dialga is the second best is because without Arceus, Dialga would not be as good as it is. So yeah, I really just do think Palkia is the second best card in the game, so I wanted to play a more traditional version of Palkia with Manaphy Palkia and then the washed out Vaporeon, you know, the one with the ability to move all the water energy around. And as you see from this other build I took inspiration from, they don't have a Sabrina. So I was playtesting 3 hours because like I said, I made this deck 3 hours before the tournament and I really wanted the Sabrina. And I didn't want to start with Eevee. Something I realized after the Arceus tournament playing with Arceus Dialga, playing the Shaman, I really hate starting with the cards I do not want to start with. Like starting with Mew or Shaman in that deck felt annoying. So in this deck, I was fine starting with Palkia, I was fine starting with Manaphy. Then I realized I have 2 Eevees. That gives me actually like a pretty decent chance to start with it. I don't ever want to do that as often as I can. So I cut out 1 Eevee to add a Sabrina, which was honestly the best single choice I could have made before the tournament started. I was also originally going to enter with the Water Energy Leafeon Celebi, but like I said in the intro, I really just don't think that deck is that powerful. So yeah, we have the 1 Eevee, which can either go into the Glaceon EX, which I'm gonna be honest, if you guys watched my EX tier list, I said I don't actually know how good Glaceon is into the meta. And the day I won the tournament, which was obviously yesterday as I'm recording this, the next day, I still didn't know how good Glaceon was. In my head, I thought it was a pretty alright card, but I didn't play around with it ever until yesterday. Turns out Glaceon very, very phenomenal in the Rampardos matchup if you actually can get into it pretty early, as it literally one-shots everything in the deck as you don't run Giant Cape. Yeah, so then we have the 1 Vaporeon in case we have a lot of energy spread around and we do draw into it, so we can put all the energy on a Palkia and then do back-to-back dimensional storms. 2 Manaphies to ramp up and then 2 Palkias, like I said, the main attacker for the deck. Even just 30 slash on turn 2, very good. Dimensional Storm 150 plus 20 gives access to Cyrus, Sabrina. If something is at 20 HP, you could Sabrina something else in, get 2 knockouts at a time. Broken card literally is so, it's just broken, bro. It's like a really extremely strong card for being a basic. Not only that, it's a water type, so we have access to Irida and Misty. Yeah, so 2 Pokeballs, everyone knows why 2 Pokeballs, and 2 Professor Research. 2 Misties, 2 Leaf to swap out everything for free. 2 Iridas. So the funny thing about Irida is that this card is so broken, it makes Erica feel power crept, even though Erica is still an S plus tier card. Irida is just that more broken because it heals multiple things for 40, rather than Erica healing a singular Pokemon for 50. So I'm not gonna lie, dude, I really like healing cards in this game, and a lot of the decks I've done good with have healing cards like this. Like, you know, Erica is literally my favorite card in the game. Irida is another reason I actually chose to play these water types, because I just feel like the combination of Irida and Misty is so broken that I might as well just play water decks. Then we have the one Sabrina, which was, like I said, one of the best additions I could have put in this deck. I actually don't think I would have made top cut if it wasn't for Sabrina. So shout out to this card being broken since day one. One Cyrus, because after, you know, Palkia does Dimensional Storm, it unlocks everything to being Cyrus then. Then we have the one giant cape just to let Palkia live, you know, like a copied Mew, a mirror match if you are at full HP. Or even like Glaceon letting like Guarantee live in Arceus in case they have a Geo. So yeah, this was my deck list. Like I said, I made this 3 hours before. And some people might be thinking, well, one Eevee wouldn't be like kind of inconsistent to get the Eevee sometimes if you have Glaceon and Vaporeon. Which yeah, you would be right. But at the same time, like I said, it makes you less likely to draw the Eevee on turn 1. It lets you have a higher chance of both Manaphy and Palkia from a Pokeball, like depending on which one you need at the moment. And because I come from Yu-Gi-Oh, I started to realize in this game, I don't need to play 2 of for the cards I don't want to see. Because in like Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, I play Machinas, and there's a card where you never want to draw it. So you only play 1 of in like a 40 card deck, and then sometimes you still do draw it and it sucks. So that's why I started in the philosophy of this game, just starting to play like 1 card of some basics. Anyways, now looking at my tournament bracket path, I mean, we already know I won, so it's not like I'm spoiling anything in the video. I really do think this meta is way harder to win in. I feel like this, because it is a very basic dominant meta, I feel like actually going second is like a huge advantage, and sometimes just going first literally can lose you that game. I think the only deck that doesn't really mind going first is actually Rampardos Lucario if they do start with a fossil. As you know, you can't get in the Rampardos as fast as possible. Plus, if you start like Sudowoodo with Riolu and have Lucario, you can't evolve that right away. So I think this meta, I don't know, I think this meta is just very hard to win. I think this meta is just harder to win and be more consistent personally. So yeah, I think it's harder to be consistent in this meta, like I just said. And not only that, literally played against the top 2 decks the whole tournament. The only time I didn't was Darkrai Arceus, which is arguably a top 10 deck, actually maybe even a top 6 right now. As the day the tournament was going on, this deck I'm pretty sure won a big tournament, like a 400 plus player or something. Also, just a fun fact also, I don't know why Limitless does this, but they actually split up Glaceon Palkia EX. Like, they split them into 2 different categories, even though it's the exact same thing. But if you actually look at both of the categories, I am actually the only person to have a first place of Glaceon, making me the first winner of Glaceon, which I think is just a really cool fact. I mean, kind of reminds me back in Mythical Island when I was the best Venusaur player. I don't think I'm the best Glaceon player. I think I just happened to get lucky, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone won a bigger tournament of Glaceon. As like I said, this one was pretty small compared to my last one, but at the same time, I still fought against a bunch of top 2 decks in the game in a best out of 3 situation with Glaceon. And I'm gonna be honest, from what I remember, I actually didn't land that many Misty flips. So I definitely landed some crucial ones, but I didn't land like any, like I don't remember landing like any like turn 1 crazy like 5 Misty flips. Like, unfortunately, that's kind of what I was trying to prove in this tournament, but didn't happen. So yeah, I guess it's finally time to stop yapping and let's get into the gameplay, which you guys are probably here for. So the first game is set 1. I start going second, which is obviously extremely good for this deck, and I started Manaphy, Palkia, and I even have an Irida, so I probably couldn't have asked for a better hand. And the thing to note about this deck is that they are actually playing Mars. So if I try to like plan a couple turns ahead, at any point if I do knock out a Pokemon, they most likely will Mars me, so that is something I always have to keep in mind. But basically they just placed on a bunch of stuff, whatever, but I don't really care. I top deck Eevee, which honestly is really good because I just wanted another Pokemon, because Manaphy can put it on 2, so it's like might as well put energy on 2 things instead of 1. So that top deck was honestly really good. Obviously, I only have these 2 Pokemon, so I just choose to put the energy on those. Fast forward their turn, I mean, they went first, so all they do is put an energy on Dialga and they just pass. I top deck Glaceon, and at this point, I was like, okay, well, the next turn I actually can go in the Glaceon if I want. And the reason I put the energy on Palkia is because I already put the second energy on Glaceon. So if I wanted to go to the next turn, I can just put the energy like from my turn. They ended up Sabrinaing me, which I think is a huge misplay. I really don't think they should have done that. I think they probably should have waited till like Arceus or something, like getting the damage on Manaphy so they could like Cyrus it in later. Although it would not matter because I have Irida. And the reason I put Palkia in over Glaceon is because Glaceon actually is weak to metal, so it would have taken 50 damage. So I wouldn't be able to heal it up to full. I mean, but at this point I have Palkia. And I could do a heavy burst and have Glaceon in the back so I can get the guaranteed knockout on Dialga. They put the energy on Mew, which means Arceus will not be able to one-shot my Glaceon. And in an endgame, Glaceon will be able to beat Mew. The reason I don't use Irida is because like I would get one shot anyways by Mew. So I decided to keep it in my hand just for that extra insurance. The Glaceon basically clutch out the game. But in my mind, like, okay, at Dimensional Storm, I have Cyrus, I just bring in the Shaman and I get a guaranteed win. The Giant Keep on Mew does not matter, Glaceon will still two-shot Mew. And then the thing I said at the beginning, they Mars me, which means my Cyrus play is actually not possible. But I still think because you have no energy on Arceus, I should be able to just clutch out an endgame with Glaceon. So yeah, they did Dimensional Storm me, they copied Palkia's attack. I don't have my what is it, Irida anymore, so I can't heal up Manaphy, so they can Cyrus it in. Although, I mean, they can't really Cyrus with Mew because, you know, Mew won't be able to damage it. But I actually end up top decking a Cyrus, so I just win from my original play anyway. So the Mars actually didn't matter at the end. And that is how I won the first game of the first set. So the second game I start going first, which you know what? You know, going second is, you know, the best situation. Whatever. I still have Manaphy, I still have Palkia, and I actually have Eevee once again. And I have an additional Pokeball, so I can thin out the deck. And usually I like to keep stuff in my hand so I can get Sabrinaed in early, but because they do have the Mars, I do end up placing Eevee and Palkia. Worst case scenario, like they get shuffled back in the deck. I really did not want to have that happen. I could have placed down another Pokemon, but I don't know, I didn't really feel like having anything in the bench, so I just decided to keep them in my hand. And I actually end up top decking Glaceon again, which is actually super crazy. So in this game specifically, I decided Glaceon Eevee very early with Manaphy. If I really wanted to in the next few turns, I could send a Glaceon out. But yeah, I mean, I just use Manaphy's attack. It's literally like the exact same thing as the first game in the set. I just started charging up both Palkia and Glaceon, and because they started with Arceus, I have extra turns to basically charge up without taking any damage. They ended up Sabrinaing me, which I think is a huge miss, but I think they should have waited for a time when Arceus could attack. I know like I would have like a lot of energy charged up, but like I feel like doing this early doesn't really do anything, as I have Glaceon, which is a 1 retreat cost. And I end up top decking the Leaf anyway, so I can't save the energy on Glaceon, which I do decide to do, just in case I do want to go with Glaceon in the following turn for some reason, because, you know, I like Glaceon in an endgame with Mew, just like very similar to last game. And because they are charging up on Mew instead of Arceus, so they don't throw the knockout on Manaphy, I'd say, like, well, I might as well start charging up Palkia, one-shot this Arceus, then it's going to be the exact same situation as the previous game. The only difference is I probably have to knock out Mew instead of being able to Cyrus something in. But they put the giant cape on Arceus, and they actually potion, so I can't Dimensional Storm. So I have a very simple play of just, I'm pretty sure I just switched in the Glaceon. Yeah, Glaceon just two-shots Arceus. They can't knock me out. And if they ever swap in the Mew, Mew only has 130 HP. If they giant cape it still gets one shot by Palkia. So in this situation, I'm like, okay, whatever. They Sabrina me, I give them Manaphy. They can't ever Cyrus me because nothing has taken damage. So in this game, I'm like, okay, well, Glaceon should just be able to sweep. I place Palkia down in case they Mars. Just on the slight chance I want to try into something useful. Even though I probably shouldn't need at this point, as you can see I'm in a very good board state position. I mean, they just put a whole board down, same thing. I mean, they're just charging up on Mew. I knock out Arceus. I really don't think they could do anything. I used Professor Research, like maybe I could save it in my hand, but I basically just wanted to thin the deck as much as possible. And like if I get Mars, I don't want to like have to Professor Research. I'd rather use like a Sabrina if I draw it somehow. We knock out Arceus, 2 points. We have Palkia in the back. Should just be a guaranteed win because whatever they swap in will take chip damage, so the giant cape shouldn't really do anything. Like they could like giant cape and potion. Situation I was just talking about, they Mars me. I didn't really care about anything in my hand though, because like I already have everything set up, and just for insurance I draw Irida, bro, which is actually a really good top deck, even though I haven't taken any damage. And they didn't giant cape, so I just guaranteed knock out the Palkia. And they conceded before I get Dimensional Storm, and yeah, that's how the first set was. A very clean sweep, and Glaceon was actually very clutch in this match, I feel like. So, time for set 2. We start going first, and we are facing a Rampardos, second best deck in the game. Just like last game, they have a Mars, which is something you have to look out for, which I don't know when this started, but apparently Rampardos decks are playing Mars too. And I've always been a hater of Mars red card because they're very obnoxious most of the time. Anyways, we start with Eevee, which is the whole reason I play one Eevee in the first place. At least I have Glaceon and a Misty. Potentially something I could do. But obviously, I get the Palkia off the Pokeball, so I'm like, okay, let me do a Misty flip. And I'm using my Lucky Tells Meowth. I get one coin flip. Fine by me. All I need, dude, just that one can literally win me a game. But they have a whole backboard already, dude. Like, they have every single basic Pokemon in their hand. I'm extremely worried. I have Glaceon, and you can see me clicking on it, so I'm like debating, like, do I just sack Eevee or do I go in the Glaceon? So I end up going in the Glaceon because I really can't let them get an KO this early. I could have like put an energy and Irida up, dude, but at the same time if they had a Lucario, I would have been cooked. And because I have the Irida, I'm pretty sure, like, you see me debating what I put the energy on, and I ended up just putting it on Glaceon. I ended up waiting one extra turn to use the Irida because I'm thinking about switching out into Manaphy, and then if Manaphy takes some damage, I get Irida up that, and then basically get 2 hills, which was basically my plan. Yeah, but they just, so it's their turn, they swap into Sudowoodo from Marolu. They still don't have any evolution, which is something to keep in mind. And I actually have 2 Iridas now, which is actually super fantastic. So what I end up doing is I just put the energy on Manaphy. And I actually end up not using an Irida because I honestly think I either just forgot or I wanted to basically take the chance of them not having a Cyrus or Sabrina and getting basically 2 useful turns. It didn't have any evolution still, which is something to keep in mind. I actually top deck a Cyrus, which could potentially be useful. And we have Manaphy, Glaceon, but we have Irida, so they're both going to go up back to really good HP stats. So unless they have a Lucario and like swap in Marshadow, which is obviously they can't even swap out the Sudowoodo because it's 2 energy, or Manaphy can live 1 extra turn, which is very good. So yeah, you just basically charge up Glaceon and Palkia, and basically that's my whole game plan. You know, just have Manaphy in the start. They can't threaten damage. So that's the downside of Sudowoodo, is that it's very bad against Manaphy if you don't have a Lucario. This is actually a huge misplay that I ended up doing. I top decked the Misty and I tunnel vision on the Misty. Also, I think my Misty is broken at this point because it's not giving me anything really super useful. Like, come on, 0, bro? Only 1 coin flip out of 2? Usually it should be like 20. Yeah, so I think my Misties are broken, but I switched in Dimensional Storm. And because I didn't use the Irida, I actually wanted to go in with Glaceon, but because I said I misplayed with the Misty, I have to go in with Palkia now, which is still fine because I have Glaceon in the back. They haven't taken a KO. But Marshadow comes in. They actually do Mars me, which now I don't have Irida, so at any moment my Manaphy can get Cyrus in, which is actually very, very scary to me. But I top deck the Leaf, so what I could just do is I could just Leaf out Palkia next turn for Glaceon, and then eventually it can come back in if they don't actually try to knock it out. Yeah, like I said, I just Leaf out, I go into Glaceon, I knock out Marshadow. And even if they had a second Lucario max damage you could do is 80. Glaceon should just be able to sweep as they don't have a Fossil, which I'm very glad I didn't have to worry about a Rampardos in this match. As Rampardos with Lucario, 150 damage, one-shots everything besides Palkia. I only have 1 giant cape, so honestly, a lot of the times I might not have the cape when Rampardos is out. But I mean, after that situation, they just concede. They kind of like know there's no way they can win. And we start going first once again. I have Misty and I have an Eevee. So I think we already know what I'm going to do. We also get super lucky that they started Marshadow. Obviously, that's like their worst start. Like, that's like us starting with Eevee last game. So, you know, a little bit of payback in the set. We have Pokeball. Then the deck. because they do have that Mars, I don't think I think I placed on Eevee first, and I'm pretty sure I also placed on the second Palkia just because I don't want to get Mars and like lose all these. But I might just go for Misty. I can't remember exactly what order. But I chose Misty over Professor Research because Misty could have just insta-won me the game. And I was like, screw it, dude, let's go for it. So my Misty is definitely broken. Back to back is Tails. Something's going on. I think my game might be glitched out. Anyways, we just place everything down and we have a Vaporeon. So if we ever want to go into that, we can. But once again, on turn 1, they have like every single thing in the back. The only grace we have is that they have Marshadow, so they can't attack. And we top deck another Misty. At this point, because I have the Vaporeon, I was like, okay, let me just use in the one in the back and like pray to get something, dude. Nothing again. 3 Misty, 0. Something's definitely going up with my water type deck. But basically, I have to start doing some damage. So I just put the 1 energy on Palkia to start slashing, and then I can set up like everything in the back. They swap in Sudowoodo, you know, makes a lot of sense. They still don't have any evolutions. They didn't evolve the Fossil. Didn't evolve Lucario. So I'm feeling pretty good actually about that, even though I'm like not in the best position. Because, you know, I have like no energy. Because I wasn't able to start with Manaphy, and I don't have a leaf, so I can't swap out. So I put the energy on Eevee, and there's 2 reasons. 1, I already have the Vaporeon, so if I ever want to go into that, I can. Or 2, if I end up drawing into Glaceon, I possibly might have another Glaceon match, as I do think Glaceon EX was really good in the Rampardos fighting deck matchup, as it like one-shots everything but Rampardos. But they just Sudowoodo, they actually do evolve in the Lucario, but the Fossil is still not evolved, so that's like the one good thing. I actually end up top decking Glaceon. Still no Leaf though, so I Professor Research because it's the only play. And I'm in a really bad board position, I feel like. And so I take the gamble, put the energy on Palkia. I have the Vaporeon to transfer the 1 on the Eevee into Manaphy to start ramping up. And in my mind, it's like the best option I have. So yeah, I just use his ability. I use Oceanic Gift. And I just start charging up the full HP Palkia and the Vaporeon. Obviously, there's no reason to put it on the low HP Palkia because at any moment it can get Cyrus and knocked out. Spoilers alert, they Cyrus me and knock it out. So at this point, I was like, okay, well, I can't go in the Manaphy. They could easily just knock Manaphy out, dude. Like swap into like anything at any point. Even though they wouldn't be able to swap to the Sudowoodo, so I could go for 1 Manaphy. Which, is that what I do actually? No, I just go to a Palkia. I actually probably should have went in the Manaphy here because I had the Irida. So that probably is a misplay on my half. At the same time, I'm in such a bad board position. And in my mind, I was thinking, well, they actually Cyrused me out. And so I still have the energy on Manaphy. So I can go in for a Dimensional Storm here. Although, looking back at this, I think I was basically gambling on having the Irida. Because I already used both my Misties in this game, so I can't ever get a clutch Misty. So I Cyrus the Marshadow, and so they can't do 120 damage to me. They can only do 70 with Sudowoodo or 60 with Lucario. I put the Giant Cape on, I'm like, okay, I have the Irida. I kind of just have to pray for the best at this moment, because doing this, I got to go in the offensive. Playing defensive is not really going to do anything. Although, like I said, I actually probably did misplay. Like, I think Manaphy ramp up 1 more turn into swapping out into Irida might have been the wave. But who really knows what the most optimal thing is. But they eventually evolve in the Cranidos. And because it's so late in the game, I was like, okay, well, they probably already have Rampardos. I basically have to bank on them not having Rampardos. Because I can slash the Sudowoodo. And if they don't have it, I should be fine. Because I can always leaf out and swap in the Vaporeon. They do 60 damage and take like 2 hits. But they send in their turn, they evolve in the Rampardos. At that, I'm cooked. They do 150 damage. Yeah, there's really nothing I can do. I mean, they just had everything at the beginning. I got very lucky they didn't have Rampardos early. So now it's 1-1 in the set. And I start first going once again. And I've been feeling pretty bad about going first. I mean, I kept starting with Palkia. Starting with Manaphy first, at least in the next turns, I can ramp up. But, especially last game meeting no Misty flips in a water deck. Like, that's supposed to be the most broken card in the deck. So when that's not working, and your opponent has everything, you can be in a very bad position really quick. So I ended up top decking Manaphy. I know they have the Mars. I didn't end up placing it because I basically didn't want them to Sabrina and start doing damage to it. But I have the Leaf, I have the Manaphy, so I can just swap out next turn. So I'm feeling pretty good about that at least. Like, I don't think we're in like the best hand because they have everything once again on turn 1. A Fossil, Marshadow, Sudowoodo. They have Riolu in the active spot, and in my mind, I'm basically banking on them not having Lucario. If they have Lucario, they would be able to evolve. I would just insta lose unless I literally got like a 20 Misty flip. They didn't have Lucario. Manaphy is one more turn. I Irida up in case they decide to like swap in the Marshadow, try to knock out the Manaphy. So even though I'm only healing 20 HP instead of 40, still think it was worth it. And I actually debate, you can see I debate on putting the Manaphy or the cape on Manaphy in case they do top deck Lucario. But because I only have this one Palkia, in case they have Rampardos because they did evolve the fossil, I basically have to gamble on them not having Lucario still. And I have no other, like if I had an Eevee, dude, I have both the evolutions, would have been so fantastic to be able to put Manaphy's energy on two things. They actually had the Rampardos. So good thing I put the energy or the giant cape on Palkia. They just like Riolu. I really don't care at this point. I top deck another Palkia. I was like, okay, thank God I actually have like another Pokemon to use. And I put the energy on Palkia. I guess maybe I'm going for a 2 thing. I could have probably put it on the other one to spread it out more evenly. But that one does have the giant cape, so I'm actually feeling pretty good. And I'm still banking on not top decking Riolu. I actually think they kind of misplayed. I think they should have swapped out for Marshadow, knocked out the Manaphy, and then they're guaranteed to 2-tap a Palkia. I actually think that probably was the wave. But maybe I'm missing something here. But we actually finally get the Eevee, and we have the Vaporeon, and we have a Misty, so something could always go. But we have such a huge energy advantage already. I feel like we're kind of like fine for now. So what I end up doing is putting the Palkia, obviously that can Dimensional Storm in, as, or do, I'm pretty sure maybe I might go for a Slash. Yeah, okay, so I go for the Slash actually. And in my mind, I'm basically trying to like wait for the Rampardos to come out. I just want to throw in some offensive damage, and if they don't have Lucario, I could always top deck a Sabrina and then slash it back in. But they actually had the Cyrus anyway, so they actually knock out my Manaphy and they swap out the Sudowoodo, which I actually don't mind because I get Sabrina now. Basically what I want them to do, I want them to give me Riolu, but if I Sabrina and they give me Marshadow at the same time, I'm also fine with that because Marshadow does do 120 damage, or like 100 damage, possibly 120, you know, if they had the Lucario. So I Sabrina here. I don't really care about the Sudowoodo. Like, yeah, it does 70 damage to me, but at the end of the day, I don't really care. And because I'm worried about the Mars, I decide, okay, I'm gonna need Vaporeon for the energy. So that's what I evolve into. I have 2 Misties, so I don't really think I need the Misty energy, but like, you know, getting like a Misty flip would always be nice just in case. But they actually give me Lucario, which I think is a huge misplay. Because like, I think they could have like if they had like Sabrina in their hand, they might have been able to Lucario and just win like that. But they put Marshadow in. Marshadow does 100 damage. I still one-shot Marshadow. And we have the Rampardos in the back, which I'm like, okay, well, I'm so cooked if they just have Sabrina, because they wasted their Cyrus. That's one thing to note. They used it on Manaphy. So unless they have Sabrina, I can knock out the Marshadow. Then I just Vaporeon and I can Dimensional Storm twice in a row. And I literally just win because of that. Because they placed the fossil down. I know they don't have a Lucario. They can't evolve in the Riolu. So in my mind, I'm like I said, I'm banking on them not having that Sabrina. And if they don't, I just win the game. Turns out they don't have the Sabrina. Got extremely lucky in a very grind game. And we just won the second set, game 3. So I'm actually facing against the Crobat Arceus Darkrai deck that I showcased on my channel a couple days ago. But we are going second basically, and we have Manaphy. We have 2 Palkias. We have Irida. I mean, I can't ask for a better hand personally. And they started Druddigon. They put Zubat in the back, so Crobat could potentially be something annoying eventually, but it's also a stage 2. So they actually have to eventually draw it. And I mean, dude, I'm just free to start ramping up energy, dude. I mean, Druddigon doesn't do anything. They went first. They do have Darkrai on their second turn, so they probably just had it in their hand. Maybe they top decked it, who knows. But they start chipping 20. They didn't evolve Zubat, so I could just air it up. Next turn, I could live an extra turn. I end up getting Eevee, so if I do get the other Vaporeon, I can start swapping the energy around. I know I have Glaceon in my hand, but I feel like Palkia is just overall probably better in this matchup. And because this deck doesn't have Sabrinas or Cyruses, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about Mars anymore. I can just do my game plan. And the only thing that can be annoying is the giant cape, but the giant cape breaks once I dimensional storm just once. So they do this, but I don't really care. So whatever. So I actually think I do misplay here. I think what I should have done is go on the offensive because I already had one palkia charged up. So I do think that is a misplay. I ended up being very greedy, wanting to do one more Manaphy turn. Because like a palkia takes 20 from Druddigon, 100. So I guess I would have been knocked out by a Crobat actually. But I feel like in the following turn, I would have just been able to live with my other palkia because I had the Irida. Which actually not, I should use the Irida, but I still think I probably would have been fine. I think I would have had enough energy charged up to one-shot the Darkrai. But I don't, and I put Eevee in. Basically, I'm like, well, they already knocked out Manaphy. If they knock out an EX, they win anyways. I'll just use Eevee and bait basically Darkrai in. Which, I mean, they leaf out and they put Darkrai and they knock out Eevee. Like I said, it doesn't matter because they still had to knock out 2 EXs anyways. Or just 1 EX and they would have won. I have 2 Palkias charged up. I have a Misty flip. Misty doesn't really do anything. I might as well use it. But basically, I just Dimensional Storm back to back because I have the leaf. And Misty once again give me 0. So I think my Misty actually is broken, dude. I think that's definitely a skill issue on my part. I don't know. I think I might be using the card wrong. But I Dimensional Storm Darkrai's at 10 HP. They have no potions. They can't knock me out. Yeah, they just attack on my 40 HP. And like I said, they don't have any Sabrinas or Cyruses. I don't have to really worry about that. So I can just leaf out, swap out. I can go into my other Palkia slash preserve the energy, and then I just knock out whatever else comes in. Because if I'm knocking out Darkrai, they literally cannot do anything. Arceus is not charged up. I should just have a guaranteed win. And yeah, that's exactly what happens. I mean, yeah, a little bit iffy, bro, but I mean, it goes pretty smoothly. Goes pretty smoothly. They just concede. Manaphy going first this time. I don't have any other basics in my hand though, so that's like one thing I'm worried about. I don't see Professor Research, nothing. But they started with Arceus, so at least that's better for us. But they did go second. But we do have Misty, and we actually do top deck Palkia. So honestly, the best top deck I could have asked for. I guess we actually had the other Manaphy as another Pokemon, but still, you know, that doesn't really count. And once again, I have a skill issue. I'm not using my Misties correctly. So unfortunately, once again, I get 0 heads. But I place Manaphy down basically in case I ever go into Eevee. Like I said, they don't have swap cards. So I don't really care if I have 2 Manaphy's down. And if I ever go into Eevee, like I said, I could just Vaporeon the energy around. So we Professor Research, we top deck into Sabrina, which I like to see. Cyrus, we already have Cyrus, which is really nice. And we have Misty, so that's potentially something I can do. And they have Arceus charged up. So I'm pretty sure my Manaphy is going to faint this time, but I have Dimensional Storm. So as long as I don't put the Giant Cape on, I can't just one-shot Arceus. But they put the Giant Cape on Arceus, so I can't one-shot it now. And they didn't place anything down. They didn't need to, obviously, to knock out Manaphy, so I'm like, huh. They either bricked really bad, or they're just saving the Pokemon for when I actually end up going into Palkia. Which actually would be scary, as I'd only have enough for one shot. But then I use Misty, and I precisely outplay my opponent. Precisely outplay the opponent. I land 4 heads, allowing me to do 2 Dimensional Storms back to back. Finally use Misty correctly. I have the Cyrus, no matter what they put in, I just Cyrus the Druddigon or even Sabrina. But the Cyrus guarantees in case they put like another Arceus or Darkrai with like a giant cape. It looks like they just bricked, because if they actually placed one more Pokemon, I couldn't have put in Druddigon, because the Druddigon actually would have made me faint. Although they still wouldn't have been able to attack, and they didn't have Crobat, so I still would have been fine, like 1 extra turn, but could have been a little bit scary. Anyways, yeah, that's the 3rd set, and I'm up 3-0. So this time I'm up against Arceus Dialga with actually 2 Shaman instead of a Mew, so I don't have to worry about that. But they have 2 Geos, a Rocky Helmet. At least they don't have a Mars. No Sabrina either. But we go first, and we start a Palkia and 2 Palkias, so I'm like, okay. Them going second is huge. All they do is just put an energy on their turn. And we top deck Misty, and I'm thinking, okay, I need to get a Misty flip because I'm not in a good position. We don't have a leaf. I can't swap out the Manaphy. So I'm forced to just slash and pray to God I get the leaf at some point to be able to ramp up. They have Metallic Turbo. They have 2 Arceuses. At this point, I'm like, okay, I am not in the best position. I get another Misty. Because there's no point in putting on the one in the active spot because I will faint to an Arceus swapping in. I have the second palkia, so at least that's good. And I skillfully use my Misty on my palkia. And I actually get now 1, 2, 3, 4 heads. Let me Dimensional Storm, which was actually a very smart decision that I ended up using that turn. Also could use Irida to live if they swapped out the Arceus, but... So basically I just lashed the Dialga, and I was still kind of hoping for a leaf. But they swap in the Arceus, and they actually have a cape. So I was like, oh dude, now I can't one-shot this dude. And because I did go, because of that 4 Misty flip, I can do 2 Dimensional Storms back to back because I get 6 energy this turn. I get the 7th energy I need on my following turn to do 2 back to back. They don't have Sabrina, so they can't bring in my Manaphy. So what I do is I just go for the offensive. Maybe I should have Sabrina to get a guaranteed knockout. But they had a potion, so now what I was going for, I was a Dimensional Storm, Sabrina, and then I knock out something with the Arceus. Can't do that anymore because of that potion. Actually screws me over that they had a potion and giant cape. And they attack me. At this point, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm cooked. I mean, even I Irida, I know I'm going to lose because I knock out Arceus and that Dialga just comes in. And if I Sabrina, they just give me the Dialga. I knock out the Dialga, the Arceus comes. Like, I was like cooked. There's like nothing I could have done. I like try to play it out like in my head. I'm like, is there any way I could possibly win? Nope, just concede. It's like, okay, whatever. Like even with the 4 Misty flip, because I didn't have a leaf and because we just had like every single card they needed. And it was like 1 turn too late. If I got that on turn 1, I probably would have won. I mean, I would have literally just won instantly, but whatever. Game 2, we actually start both with the bricks of our deck, Shaman and Eevee in the active spot, which is actually very hilarious. But I have Leaf and Palkia, and I actually end up top decking Manaphy, so I'm feeling pretty good. We also have the Giant Cape, which is a nice addition in case we need that 20 extra HP. And we also have Sabrina and Cyrus already, so once I can get Palkia set up, I can hopefully get 2 KOs pretty, or like relatively easy. But I'm still worried about those giant capes. And this Shaman of Rocky Helmet potentially could be annoying if I wanted to like Cyrus it back in and I'm at like 20 HP remaining. Which would only happen if they actually Geo me for full bench. I would be at 170. And actually, no, I would still have 30 HP, so that actually wouldn't matter, but they still just have Shaman. They're building up an Arceus in the back. I was like, okay, I'll just ramp up as much as I can. Because I basically need to like, try to like fire. I'm also like praying for like a Vaporeon top deck also. But they go in the offensive, which I think probably is the right play to do. And they knock out Manaphy. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I might have potentially misplayed. No. Because they have they also have 2 capes, so I actually can't Sabrina the other Arceus in. And like they have the Shaman, so if they had a second Shaman, I can't like not attack this one and then Sabrina something else out. So I think I'm kind of like cooked here. I was like thinking like maybe like in my head like rewatching this I could attack with Eevee, but that only would have brought them down to 140. They would have just went back up with a Shaman if they had a potion. It doesn't matter. So at this point I think I'm cooked. Sabrina, I have the giant cape, so if they give me Shaman, the Rocky Helmet damage will still not make me be able to get one shot by a Geo. And I'm also kind of like banking, I don't know, dude. I'm kind of just like banking on anything. Top decking Vaporeon. I'm like trying my heart out basically to bring this one back. I think Arceus, this like they were just very aggressive, and they kind of had all the giant capes, so it's like I can't like they had no like pressure swapping in. They like, okay, I have a giant cape that you can't one shot me, just go in. So I think because they like always had the giant cape like 24/7 in this matchup, there's like really no way for me to win this. But yeah, I mean, they just potioned up, dude. So even if I kept my Cyrus and I did top deck a Vaporeon, wouldn't be able to one-shot anything. So I'm just like guaranteed cooked. And they placed on a Shaman, and it just has like a little like salt of the wound. They don't have a full bench though. That is like one benefit. I mean, although I take so much damage, I top deck Leaf. Like they only have 1 KO because Manaphy. I'm trying to get like a Glaceon or something at this point. Basically, I need something. Like I think Glaceon, if they don't have a Cyrus, I could potentially win this. Like on the very next turn, Oceanic Gift, put the energy obviously, you know, on Eevee and stuff. Yes, I'm just like basically trying to stall one more turn. I know at any moment a Cyrus cooks me. They knock out my Manaphy, going for the Eevee top deck. I mean, it's a 9 There's a 1 out of 9 chance. I don't remember how many Professor Researchers I have. I might not even. I probably have like 1, considering I still have 9 things left in the deck. Top deck of Palkia. Like, I'm trying, dude. Like, I'm thinking like, okay, what if I slashed and I don't have a potion, and I still could top deck Vaporeon or get a Misty. I think I still have 1 Misty in the deck. My Irida up for insurance. I mean, it doesn't do anything. Like, I'm still gonna get knocked out by a Cyrus. I'm trying, bro. I'm like trying to bring this one back. Like, any slim chance I have. They have the Cyrus at the end of the day. They eventually top deck it. I just lose. And that is GG's. I finally go, I got my first loss in the tournament, which puts me at 3-1 in sets. Although I did lose to Dialga Arceus, and they literally had everything, bro. So I wasn't feeling too bad about the match. I wasn't feeling too bad about this. So I start going second, but I only have Manaphy. I have Misty, Irida, and Vaporeon. So I was like, okay. Hopefully I just top deck into another basic Pokemon. And, you know, I'm just waiting to see what my opponent's going to do. Like, they are going first, so that's good. But it looks like they actually bricked and they have Shaman. So I was like, okay. I have turns. I draw Manaphy. I was like, oh my god. Okay, worst case scenario, I can get EV and eventually do something at Vaporeon. So, I mean, the only thing I had to do is literally just charge the energy on Manaphy. And, by the way, this is fast forwarded. If you didn't know, this is like 5 turns. So they eventually placed on Arceus and they just built up Arceus in the back. I have Manaphy. I have 5 energy on this. I have not drawn another basic, no Pokeballs, no Professor Research. You can see by my discard pile, I have nothing in there. So there's no point in keeping it. I was just using Manaphy's attack. I eventually draw Eevee and I'm like, oh my god. I have Vaporeon. Even just a Glaceon at this point, dude. Like, anything is just better than what I have. And I was like, okay. Whatever, bro. I finally have the Eevee. They have Arceus. They might go in next turn attacking me. I just need top deck a Palkia. Like, I have 2 Professor Researches, 2 Pokeballs, 2 things. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have like 9 cards. So, like, I have like 6 out of 10 options I could draw. That'd give me the Palkias. And I'm like, okay, I hopefully should just draw Palkia. Worst case scenario, dude, I have to sack a Manaphy and then hopefully at least draw a Glaceon. So actually I could draw a Glaceon also 7 out of things, although I think I probably would have lost in the end game still. But I put Manaphy in, basically I could swap out for free. Doesn't really matter. I put in top deck of Professor Research. Thank god I actually have something. And I see Palkia the first turn. I was like, okay, bet, dude. We just swap out Vaporeon, swap around the energy, and I just win like that. A pretty clean sweep. I mean, they don't have any giant capes. And the Arceus only has 1 energy in the back, so it wouldn't even be able to attack me anyways. Even if they did have something like that. And I had the Sabrina. So if they didn't have potions, I also could just like attack this one if I had the giant cape. And the Sabrina, hopefully they don't have potions. But they don't have that, so I just wash out, you know, 3 times, put the energy on Palkia, and then I eventually attack. So it was like very lucky that they started with Shaman. I think if they didn't start with Shaman, if they started with like Dialga or like even Arceus in the active spot, I think maybe things could have got scary, but you know, we're chilling. We are very lucky to have a Vaporeon on the opening hand and to draw EV when we did. But yeah, we just knocked out the Arceus. I mean, the Arceus can't attack. It's at 120 HP. And we have so much energy. I think we might actually be able to fire like 2 more off anyways. But who knows? But yeah, just wash out. They actually put the giant cape, but they didn't have a potion. They only had Shaman's thing. No, they had 1 potion, but it still wasn't enough. They needed 2 potions. That's what it was. In case you can see the potion in the discard pile. But I actually made a huge mistake here. As you can see, let me replay real quick. So I'm using the washed out ability on Vaporeon, and I accidentally forgot to put 1 more energy on, and I used Slash. Thank god I had enough HP though, where like a Geo would not be able to knock me out if they had a full bench. Because when that happened in the tournament, even though they don't have Sabrina, I was still fine. My heart actually sank. Like that actually, dude, like my anxiety spiked so hard. Like my heartbeat was just thumping. But we still won anyway, so it doesn't matter. Then we go second again. We have Palkia, we have Misty, we have a Pokeball, so I'm feeling pretty good. We even have a Leaf, so if we draw something like a Manaphy, I can just Leaf out and start swapping into it. They start off Shaman once again, actually. And because we are going second, dude, we just get the energy advantage. I get a second Palkia. It's like, okay, well, that sucks, but it is what it is. Like, I don't really mind that too much. It could, you know, because 18 card Palkia is still good. And they have Shaman in the active spot, so I'm not really feeling too threatened. Like, they have Mew, which is like kind of annoying. But at the same time, they don't have like Dialga to like charge it up. So if they choose to go in the Mew, they can't really do anything. Like once the Mew comes out. Also, like if I ever go in the Glaceon or something, like Mew's not that good in the Glaceon. But because they have Shaman and they are setting up on Mew, which means like Mew, if obviously you know Mew goes in the Yakta spot, I guess it can copy Manaphy's ability and ramp them up. But at that point, like I just don't think that's good. So they can't get a knockout like in 3 more turns until they set up Arceus. So I'm like, okay, well I'll just set up 2 Palkias, attack back to back, and I should just be able to win like that. Because I'll knock something out, then Mew will copy my attack, knock me out, but like, who cares? Because I just knocked me out. And that's literally just what I do. Palkia, like both next turn, Palkia can attack, and then the other one will be able to attack in the turn after. And honestly, this game was a very clean sweep. I got very lucky. My opponent bricked twice, but I mean, that's the exact reason I stopped playing that deck myself, because this is the exact deck almost I ended Arceus with, a little bit different ratios. Like I had 2 potions, but I started shaming so many games that I decided it's not worth it. And like I was talking about with my deck profile, I don't like playing these cards. I don't like playing these cards where like I kind of just like have like a very bad start if I draw them. Where like Eevee is like kind of like the same scenario, but Eevee I would not say is as bad of a start as Shaman. But like I said, I just Dimensional Storm twice back to back, so we're just chilling. I mean, they send a Mew, but they can't win. Yeah, they just knocked me out. But my second Palkia comes back in and gets the clean victory, putting me up 4-1 in the tournament, and there's only 6 rounds of Swiss, which means all I have to do is tie my next round and I guarantee top cut. Making top cut for the first time in this season after getting harassed by Misty so many tournaments. I finally became evil, joined the dark side, and I Misty'd my way to top cut. So for round 6, I actually ended up tying because we both thought we were guaranteed to make top cut. Ven is actually someone I actually was talking to about like this whole tournament, because we're in like a mutual server. Unfortunately, the math was wrong. There's no way for both of us to make a tie. After we tied, I was 15th on the standings and they were 17th, which means we would have to have played it out, which I would have done if we both knew, but we both thought we were guaranteed. So very unfortunate. But they did sacrifice themselves for the victory. So at the end of the day, shout out to them, because if it wasn't for them, I really do think I probably would have lost, as I have not beaten 18 core Articuno in a tournament. So we finally make top cut. We're going second on our first game, and we are up against another Darkrai Arceus Dialga Crobat deck, literally the exact same deck list as earlier. And because earlier went so smoothly, I was feeling pretty good. We start second at least in Palkia, so we can start like doing slash damage, but we have Pokemon a Leaf, or we top deck the Leaf actually. But the reason I use the Pokeball first, because we have a 2 out of 4 chance to get Manaphy, and if I get Manaphy I can just Leaf out. Where with Press Research, obviously I'm locked in the Palkia, which is still not like a bad thing at the end of the day. I was just trying to go for like the most like little bit like optimization play, you know, ramp up more energy if possible. Whatever. I mean, I just placed on Eevee because you know I could eventually go in the Glaceon or possibly Vaporeon. They don't Sabrina, so I don't really care. I could place on whatever I have in my bench, and they don't have potions, which is such a nice thing about actually playing against this deck. Top deck Manaphy though, and you see me hovering over Misty. I really wanted to use it, dude. I really wanted to use it. I'm like, I could just win instantly though. I could just win instantly. I know not to be stupid. I ended up just going for the Leaf, charge up the Manaphy play, because it's the most safe option. It's the most optimal thing I could have done. Maybe that Misty flip would have been 20. Maybe I would have insta one. Who knows? I didn't end up going for it just because my gut was telling me that this is top 16. Play it safe. If I didn't have the Leaf, I would have played the Misty, but I had the Leaf, so it's whatever. And I mean, they're just charging up Arceus. Nothing. They're not really doing anything on their turn. I mean, their deck is so slow. Unless they attack, they don't do anything. Like maybe they place on some Pokemons, use Professor Research. But I finally used Misty. Don't get anything off it. So yeah, switching the Manaphy was the most optimal play. We do have a Vaporeon, which means we should be able to Dimensional Storm back to back, which is very good. I actually think I could have leafed out this turn if I didn't Manaphy and attack twice back to back. But I just decided to go for the one more charge because like whatever, bro. I mean, if they just put Arceus in first and attack my Manaphy, I just knock it out anyways with my Arceus. But I have Vaporeon. I end up top decking another Misty, which I end up swapping out Manaphy. I keep the Leaf for some reason, maybe for later on. I actually could have like kept the energy, but I don't think it matters because I already fire off 2 anyways. I go for the Misty. I land 1. Doesn't matter though. Like I said, I had Vaporeon. I could already fire twice back to back, and I already had like enough to fire 1 at least. And I attacked the Darkrai, and I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, we just win this. We knock out Darkrai, we have an EX. I was not even thinking that Darkrai plus Arceus knocks me out. I didn't even consider that because it didn't happen in the first set, or at least from what I remember. And I was like, oh, this is not good. But I have Vaporeon with 2 energy, so thank God I actually did end up doing that 1 extra turn of ramp. And I have Cyrus. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, dude, am I screwed? Do I just lose this? But then I realized, yeah, I have the Cyrus, so I'm like, I gotta bring in Druddigon. If they have a leaf, I'm cooked. If they don't have a leaf, I win. That's my only win con. The literal only way I could win. So I Wave Splash. I'm over here praying. All they have to do is swap an Arceus back in. They rough skin, obviously. Not like it matters because Arceus already knocks me out. And they sit there waiting for a little bit. I'm like, oh my god, I don't think they have leaf because they would have probably used it right away. They just concede. Thank God I was barely able to squeeze out the game. Time change puts me back to the title screen, doesn't matter. So we start game 2 going second. We start we start game 2 of the set going first with Manaphy. And we have Palkia and Eevee. I'm feeling pretty good, to be honest, about this. Like, you know, going second obviously would be so phenomenal in this situation, but going first is still whatever. But then I realized, I was like, oh wait, they can attack with Zubat, evolve it, and then knock my Manaphy out, and my Manaphy will only be able to get 1 attack off. So I'm using Misty. I'm kind of like praying for a Misty flip at this point, but I misplayed my Misty again, so I get 0 tells, unfortunately. I have the Giant Cape, which is an option if they don't have Darkrai. And they attacked me for 20. I was like, okay. At this point, I can still put the Giant Cape on if they evolve into Golbat, I still live. But the problem is, Golbat's 1 energy. If they have Darkrai, I still faint. And for some reason, my mind is just telling me not to waste the Giant Cape in case that, because the Giant Cape could potentially be useful on Palkia. So I end up top decking the second Manaphy, which is very good. So if this Manaphy does faint, I can just go into a second one, because at that point, I mean, if they knock out 1, they just need to knock out 1 Palkia. So it's like, I don't mind giving them 2 basics, especially when they don't have a Sabrina or a Cyrus. And the Eevee is there in case we wanted to go in Glaceon, which, you know, we don't have for Vaporeon. So that's why I was ramping it up. I feel like maybe it might have been smarter to ramp up a second Palkia. But I'm assuming I was going for like a Glaceon. And in my mind, like, well, if I attack with 1 Palkia and they actually knock me out, I'll probably just get fainted anyways. But I eventually put the second Palkia down. I'm like, okay, well, I already have enough energy on Eevee. If I ever want to go in the Glaceon, I can just put it from the turn. So I'm just setting up 2 Palkias at this point. And I have the Giant Cape still, so if like I attack the Giant Cape Druddigon, like I saw 150 HP. As long as they don't have a Golbat or a Darkrai, I can still live. And I get Vaporeon, so I was like, okay. I can fire 2 attacks back to back on my Palkia. At this point, I'm like, I kind of go on the aggressive. Like, I can kind of like stall, but they could always just put Crobat in, actually knock out my Manaphy, and then force my Palkia in. And at that point, I would still lose to a... Like, I feel like I'd probably still lose eventually. So I was like, okay, I need to go on the offensive. I basically need to pray that they do not have a Darkrai or Crobat. And if they do, I just lose either way. But I'm at a position where like they already got 1 knockout. And I don't know, I just felt like I had to go in the aggressive. I don't remember exactly why. Like maybe I could have played defensive, force something to come in. But the longer I let them draw stuff, the more like they could just set up like 2 Crobats, like for example. And then I basically can't do anything about that. So I basically just had to hope they didn't concede. So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, they probably just have one of the things that just cooked me. So I kind of like figured I already lost. He is placed on Darkrai, so I just concede instantly because, you know, I just lose. And then we go second on the 3rd game, and we just start with Manaphy. They only have Arceus, which, you know, I kind of like love to see. We don't get damaged by Golbat and like Zubat, for example, unless they swap out. Like, they can't Darkrai chip me like 3 times, but 3 times is plenty I need for the energy. And we actually have Eevee and 2 Palkias, and you know, we have basically every single, I'm pretty sure, yeah, we have every single basic in our deck. So no matter what we draw, we're either going to draw support cards that are just going to be useful. So it's like, I'm like very happy about the situation. I decided to ramp up on Eevee again in case I want to go in the Glaceon. Maybe I could have chose to do 2 Palkias. But I don't remember exactly why I chose Eevee. Maybe I was just thinking, yeah, like maybe I just don't need 2 of them. And if I actually end up drawing Vaporeon, it doesn't really matter. I just top deck a Leaf, not like it really matters in this situation. And I just keep ramping up on Manaphy. I think I might, nah, I think I go for one more turn of Eevee, ramping it up, and then I think after that I place in the Palkia. But we're very lucky. I mean, they don't have Zubat. They also don't have Darkrai down yet. I feel like if they had Darkrai, they probably would place it down. And maybe do some chip damage to Manaphy, but they don't. So we're really good position because we didn't have Aerida actually. Yeah, so I just have two Palkia set up basically at this point. Like they're basically just setting up Arceus in the back. They have Druddigon in the active spot, which can't do anything. They place the second Arceus down, and at that point I'm like, okay, well they don't have Zubat, and they probably don't have Darkrai because I feel like they probably would have went for the Darkrai chip, but also they might be saving the Darkrai for when like I place in Palkia. But at this point, like I already have two Palkia set up. The Misty doesn't do anything. Even if it gives me 20, I attack back to back and I still win, which it doesn't give me anything anyways. But yeah, I mean, I knock out Druddigon. They potentially knock out my Palkia. But there's like nothing they can do. They don't have swap cards. They don't have healing. No matter what, as soon as the second Palkia goes in, they will lose. So yeah, I mean, we get the knockout. We just take one. But I mean, they have EXs. We have Cyrus in too. But yeah, the Arceus goes in. I'm like, okay, well, they attack. They actually end up swapping out for a second Druddigon. But so basically what this does is it delays me one more turn because I obviously can't Leaf and Cyrus out on the same turn. I didn't get very far in, so I couldn't put like one energy to like swap around either. But I was like, whatever, dude. I mean, they stall one turn. We draw Aerida too. And eventually, you know, it's my turn. I'm pretty sure I just cut like a turn, but yeah, eventually I put the second energy on Palkia to switch around. I Cyrus them in, and I just Dimensional Storm, and I ended up winning the set of top 16 2-1. And yeah, we move on to top 8. Okay, so we start top 8 going first. Hate to see it, but it is what it is. We are up against another Dialga Arceus. I don't know what is up with Dialga Arceus lately, but they are not playing Sabrina in favor of 2 Geos, I think for the mirror match, but I'm gonna be real. I love not having to deal with Sabrina. Cyrus is whatever because it can't do bench damage, so Cyrus like really doesn't do anything for like 80% of the time when I play against these decks specifically, because most of the time like Arceus just one-shots me. Or like Dialga will like knock out my intervene 2 shots, but I profess to research, I Pokeball, I get an Eevee, I have Palkia, I mean I have Manaphy in the active spot, I have a Vaporeon, so like feel like I'm in like a really good position. And I even have a Leaf and a Sabrina if like I ever need to use those, like if I want to like preserve an energy on Manaphy. And they start with Mew, so I don't really care about that. But they put the energy on Dialga, and I'm basically like hoping they don't have a Leaf, you know, just to let them not ramp up as much as possible. You know, it's always better for my opponent not to have what they need. I mean, we have Vaporeon, dude. We have Manaphy. We're gonna be able to like do like a lot of back-to-back Palkia shots by moving the energy around. But they do have a Leaf, of course they do. So they just end up swapping in Dialga. They end up using Metallic Turbo. I mean, very simple. It's what else are they gonna really do? They choose to put it on Mew, I'm pretty sure, which better in this specific matchup. Although if I do have a cape, I would say it doesn't matter. But they actually have the Rocky Helmet, which is actually very obnoxious for me personally. I go into Glaceon, or I top at Glaceon. I'm like, well, I'm probably not going to go into Glaceon, but just in case, I'll put the energy on Eevee. I mean, I have Vaporeon anyway, so it doesn't matter who I put the energy on. They knock out Manaphy, and okay, I'm like, okay, this is pretty simple, right? I just put in Palkia, I Sabrina, and they get knocked out. But basically what I needed was a Leaf. Or not a Leaf, I needed my Giant Cape. I ended up getting a I think I already had the Manaphy in my hand. Whatever, I mean, yes, I Leaf out and I'm basically starting with Manaphy more because I'm basically trying to top deck a Giant Cape. If I don't, this Mew is just going to knock me out, because if I Sabrina, they just give me Arceus. And they actually end up putting a second Rocky Helmet down on Arceus. So I'm like, oh, well, if they Sabrina, they probably just give me Arceus. And I'm still trying to draw that Giant Cape because I already know I'm like, I basically guaranteed to lose. I actually do draw a Giant Cape and I Sabrina with Eevee, and I'm basically hoping for them to misplay and give me like Shaman or something. That's the only possible way I do win, but I probably would still lose to a Rocky Helmet actually. Well, actually no, because Mew doesn't have the Rocky Helmet on. But I'm in a very bad position. So I go for the Sabrina, they just give me Arceus, and I just know it's over, so I just concede. Because I attack, I lose the 20 HP, and then they just bring in Mew. We start game 2 going second though, love to see it. We only have Palkia, no Manaphy in sight, and neither do I have a Leaf. I don't have a Leaf either, and I just have both the Vaporeons and Glaceons with no Eevee. So that is something. I do top deck Leaf. I go for the Pokeball. Like many other situations, I want the Manaphy. I actually get the Manaphy. And I won't lie, I contemplate using the Leaf, but for some reason in my mind, I wanted to go on the aggressive early, which is stupid because if I leafed out now, I would have, like the next turn, I would have had 3 energy on Palkia. Spoilers, I do just go for a Slash, which I think is definitely stupid considering they have 2 potions and a Shaman. They could just use that at any time and just negate the damage. And you see me contemplating, like you see me like hovering over Leaf, you see me like hovering over Manaphy, placing it down. I just don't know what I want to do because like I lost that first game and it is top 8 right now. And I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. I'm not too confident in my play because I'm down 0-1. But you just do the simple play. They actually do put down Shaman, so the Slash really does not matter at the end of the day. So I should have just leafed in the Manaphy first turn. And they put the Rocky Helmet too, so even if I wanted to go for a second attack, I can't now because I can't risk taking that damage. Like I have Irida, so I could, but then Metallic Turbo me for 70. So or 30, so it'd be 50 overall, so Irida wouldn't heal up the full amount of HP. So I just leaf out, I go into Manaphy. And very simple, they Metallic Turbo. They actually had a Mew in their hand, so they just go in the Mew once again. So now I'm in the same position. I have a Sabrina. I need the Giant Cape. I actually do top deck the Giant Cape, which is phenomenal. I have Irida, which lives Manaphy live 1 more attack from Metallic Turbo because they don't have any Dawns. So I do that. And I basically have to ramp up enough energy on Palkia as possible. Pray that they don't have another Rocky Helmet because then I'll be in the exact same situation as last game and I'll just lose. But at the same time, it's my only option. If I send in Palkia now, and Sabrina, they just give me Shaman and I would just lose because I don't have another energy for like 2 Storm attacks back to back. I draw another Manaphy, which I'm thinking like, okay, well that's actually kind of heat because I could like potentially use that if I wanted to charge up Palkia even more. But at this point, I already have 6 energy, so I'm guaranteed to be able to attack twice back to back. A Metallic Turbo, I don't see the Rocky Helmet, and at this point, I kind of know I win the game. Almost. Because I put in Palkia. Sabrina, they give me Arceus. All they have to do is put 1 more Rocky Helmet on like Mew, for example, and I would not be able to knock out Mew. I would lose the game or it'd be a draw. So I'm fishing for an Irida. I wait 1 more turn. I basically pray that they just still don't have a Rocky Helmet because I don't really have much options. I've kept the Giant Cape in my hand, so I'm hoping they either one just don't have the Rocky Helmet like I said, or they just don't actually draw into it. At this point, I have to put Palkia in. Both my Manaphys are dead. There's nothing else I have to do or I can do. I have to Sabrina and basically pray that I don't, because I will lose, by the way. I don't have an Eevee. So if you actually tie, like if you both have 3 points, the person who doesn't have any bench Pokemon will lose. Like it will show you the lose screen, and in tournaments you will take the L for that instead of being a draw. So Sabrina, they still don't have the Rocky Helmet. I have Irida. At this point, I'm guaranteed the win. So I got very lucky that I actually ended up stalling long enough without them drawing the Rocky Helmet to draw the Irida to heal up so I can knock out this Mirror without fainting. And they just wait. I mean, I already know they're going to put a Mew though. And the funny thing is they actually use a Geo on Mew. I know it only does 160 damage. But for some reason, just seeing the Geo, like I was starting to like second guess myself. Like, there's no way that I get knocked out, right? Even though like I know for certain I wouldn't get knocked out. Just seeing the Geo, I don't know, like spiked my anxiety too. But I had the Irida, so like thank God I had the Irida. If I didn't have the Irida, I would have lost this game. Because I didn't end up top decking another basic, so it would not have been a tie. I'm not too sure if I would still even, I don't know if it would still be considered a tie. I don't know if it counts like how many Pokemon you have in the bench or if you just have a single Pokemon. I'm not too sure because I think I've only tied like once in my life. Doesn't matter though, I have the Irida like I said. So now we are 1-1 in top 8. And I go first again. I'm not feeling the greatest, I won't lie. Because I'm starting with Palkia once again. No Leaf inside. At least I have a Professor Research and Pokeball. So that is the benefit of, I wouldn't say a bad start, but definitely not the start I wanted to see, especially being down 1 game already. So I thought like a Sabrina. I mean, Sabrina is very useful in this matchup, especially with the Rocky Helmet situation of them playing 2. So I just Pokeball. I probably should have Professor Research first to try to get a Manaphy, but I was like, whatever. I actually ended up getting a second Pokeball, so I was like, okay, bet. Hopefully I just get Manaphy off of this one. And I do. I don't have a Leaf still though, so like that's not an option I have for like a good while unless I just get a very good top deck, but I still have like 13, 14 cards in my deck. So the chance of drawing a leaf is something I'm considering if it happens, but if not, I have 2 Misties. At this point, to be honest, dude, I'm kind of like praying for like a Misty flip. So I used my first Misty, which is actually a very big misplay because I get 0. So that's very unfortunate, but I don't really have an option. It's like, do I set up on Glaceon in the back? I don't think Glaceon wins me an endgame. I think they set up Arceus fast enough. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to build up on Palkia, and I kind of just have to literally just have to top deck a leaf. That's my only, I think that's my win condition. Like, that's what I was like actually telling myself in this match. Because I'm not in a good position. Arceus can attack me in 2 more turns. Phenomenal, bro. I top deck the leaf. Literally game winning top deck right there. So I do that. Manaphy is going to faint, but I will be able to have my Palkia pretty close. I will have 3 energy on it, and I have 1 more Misty. So if I can just get 1 Misty flip, I could potentially win the set and make it on the top 4. So it all comes down to the card that I hate the most, which, like, relatively to how many times I've used Misty in this tournament, like, my Misty looks have not been actually like crazy. Like, if I'm being real, like compared to like what I usually see when I play against Misties. Down to this Misty flip. As I was actually saying that, I totally forgot I said that, but let me replay that so you guys can hear what I said. It all comes down to this Misty flip. Exactly, it all comes down to the Misty flip. Loki kind of jump scared me. I kind of forgot I had that still. I forgot I actually unmuted the mic for a second. But I Misty flip. I land the Misty of my life. Just 1 single flip for Misty won me a game. That's what I'm saying. This card is actually broken because sometimes sometimes you just needed the 1 coin flip. That's all you need. You have the Rocky Helmet. You have nothing else set up. And I have Glaceon in the back if I ever do need to go into it. So I knock out Arceus. They put in Dialga, I'm pretty sure, because, you know, they could potentially try to ramp up and hopefully swap out faster than I get like set up. Professor Research, one of the most beautiful top decks I've ever seen, as I kind of need a Vaporeon right now. I have Glaceon as a backup option. I feel like Glaceon's not the best thing to rely on. I get a Vaporeon, which means, and a Giant Cape too, which is just a nice addition. And I actually probably shouldn't. No, never mind. I was gonna say I probably shouldn't have placed the Vaporeon now, but I forgot they don't have Sabrina, so they couldn't Sabrina me in. I was thinking like worst case scenario, they Sabrina, I can swap out for 1 energy on Eevee. Doesn't matter because they don't have Sabrinas. So in the next turn, I just Heavy Storm. And because I have the Cyrus, like, unless they have like 2 potions, which even then I still think I probably would have won. Because they wouldn't be able to heal up like Arceus in the back, like the Shaman. I think I was still pretty fine even if they had like everything. But it doesn't matter. Dimensional Storm eventually. And I literally won that game because of that Misty flip. Also, that top deck of Leaf was phenomenal. Way too close for comfort, but I end up making top 4 after being down 0-1 in the set and top 8. So we make it to top 4. We're going up against the classic Rampardos deck that most people play. Just 1 Cyrus, 1 Sabrina, the Pokemon Communications, whatever. I don't care about anything really besides the Pokemon. We're start going second with Manaphy, Palkia, and we even have a Vaporeon. So if we do draw into Eevee, that is one way we can do multiple attacks of Palkia back to back. Professor Research. We top deck another Professor Research and a Misty. My eye is focusing on that Misty because they already have a Fossil down and like Riolu. And I'm just thinking of like, okay, dude, if they evolve like right away and have like everything, I'm kind of like cooked. So that's definitely my plan, was to just like hope for them just not having it. But they placed on another Fossil and they evolve into Cranidos. At this point, I feel like they probably have a second Cranidos. I'm like, okay, dude, I might be out. This first game might just be over very fast. I get a second Palkia. I was kind of actually hoping for the Vaporeon. And I'm in like a weird position because it's like, do I keep Manaphy in? I get 1 Misty flip, which is nice because I can attack next turn. At the same time, I would have already been able to do that. But like if I wanted to attack like back to back, it would have been useful. But in my mind, I don't see the giant cape, so Lucario plus Rampardos can knock me out. And you know what, like maybe in like retrospect, what I could have done is attach an energy to this other Palkia, swap in and start attacking it. But I didn't have a Cyrus, so I wouldn't have been able to do that anyways. Like bring the Lucario back in, they would just give me Marshadow if I Sabrina probably. Oh yeah, they had a second Cranidos, so they just swap it in to get the guaranteed one shot on Manaphy. So even like if I aired that up or something, wouldn't have been a problem. And I was like, okay, well they put Cranidos in, they still didn't evolve, which either means they're just holding it in their hand. And same with Lucario, so I'm like, okay, well if they don't evolve, like hopefully they just don't have Lucario at the bare minimum, because I have 2 energy on Palkia, so I could live long enough to get an attack off that off. Plus I actually end up getting the Vaporeon. So I probably think this is probably the best play I could have done at the moment. Like Sabrina doesn't really do anything. Sabrina, they just give me Marshadow. And I even get Glaceon in case I need to go into that for some reason. But I put the energy on Eevee in case. Because like I said, I have Vaporeon, I have Breaking Storm. And I'm guaranteed to lose if they have Rampardos and Lucario. Like if they have those 2 out of the 3 cards in their hand, I'm just cooked. Which, yeah, they had Rampardos. And they had Lucario. So I don't know if they just top deck one of them. Or if they were holding, like, I don't know if they had Rampardos, but were like holding Lucario or something. Or if they just already had both the whole time. Either way, that is top 4. The first game at least. And after this point, I actually have my live face cam and mic on. So you will no longer be seeing voiceover Sekiro. So enjoy. Shout out to Kukuru. It's not looking too good. Already down 1 game on top 4. We get bounce back though, we get bounce back. By the way, all I'm gonna say, bro, is I have not been hitting Misty flips at all. So I don't know what's going on with my Misty. I think my Misty might be broken. So I might have to restart my game or something. Like, where is my turn 120 Misty flips auto wins that everybody gets on me? Okay, speaking of Misty turn, okay, hold up, never mind. I apologize, bro. Yeah, honestly, bro, just give me 3 Misty flips. Let me just knock out this thing this turn and win. Pretty easy, right? I also could, like, leaf out, but nah. You know what? I'm feeling the non-fuller. I think this one's gonna give me 3. Better than nothing. I get slash now. I'll take it. Just let me not see a fossil. Place whatever you want down, bro. Place a Marshadow. I just don't want to see a fucking fossil, because then I'm gonna get cooked by Rampardos, Lucario, unless I have my giant cape. Okay, dude. I put the energy on Sudowoodo. I have my other Misty. I'm gonna land 2 coin flips, knock out the Sudowoodo in 1 hit, and then we're chilling. I also honestly might just leave out the Manaphy, but do I leave out the Manaphy and play safe? The only problem with that is eventually Marshadow will just come in. Dude, you know what, bro? We're so fucking down already. Let's just ball. I fucked up. That was actually a real big. This is actually a real bad misplay. That's a really bad misplay. I should just Manaphy it out. I want to set up Eevee in case I get Glaceon. Yeah, I have no more Misties, so I kind of want to near it at this point. I might just set up on the one in the back, to be honest. I don't know. It's like I kind of needed to do the offense anyways. Knock out Sudowoodo. I need Glaceon. I legit just need Glaceon. There's Glaceon one-shots like everything in this deck, as long as we don't see Rampardos. Worst case scenario, I get Vaporeon, and I could just put the energy on the other Palkia. Yeah, they're gonna get the knockout of Marshadow. I don't really care. And if we draw Glaceon, especially, bro, like, please, just let me see Glaceon. If they don't place anything else, and I actually do draw Glaceon, I like actually just win this game. I feel like I haven't used Glaceon in like a hot minute. Like since like I feel like the very first game I used Glaceon, and dude, and it was so good. But then I feel like every other game not use Glaceon. Okay, they're trying to find a basic. Hopefully it doesn't give it to them, because I want to knock out the Sudowoodo. I mean, we do. No, there's no way we live this. I was thinking about maybe like a giant cape, but like giant cape area, but we would never be able to draw both of those because obviously we'd have to press the research into both of them. I wonder if he has like, oh well, he can't swap out actually. He just has to attack. I mean, if he goes a time and he doesn't attack, I mean, I'll take that. He has 10 seconds, so hopefully they just don't click anything. Sabrina. I wish I placed Manaphy down now. Fuck. I mean, I kind of don't mind this. Like, I could have gave them Eevee, but I don't really want Eevee to take damage. Let's see. I guess it doesn't matter which one faints. They both have one energy. Let's see what happens. Leaf and an Irida, not really what I wanted to see, bro, to be honest. Maybe I should just leave that with Mana Feed. This is actually annoying now because now I can't actually fucking Glaceon. I mean, we have to knock it out though. I mean, if we don't knock it out, I think we might just lose this one, bro. I'm gonna be real. We're not in a good position at all. We have no Misties, so we can't just auto win. I think I got like one good Misty flip this whole tournament. The whole point of playing this deck was to kind of prove Misty's broken. And I mean, the one coin flips didn't matter in some situations, but okay, they're searching for another basic, but they really don't have shit. So if I can still top deck Glaceon, dude, I'm still in a really good spot. Also, if I don't see Raolu, I can do enough mana because they can't knock me out. And I can set up energy. And I have Irida, so like they can't Cyrus me in. And they wasted Sabrina already, so just let me see Glaceon, dude. Like, let me just see Glaceon. Yep, whatever. I could have put an Eevee rare because I didn't top deck the Glaceon, but I was like, yeah. But then the Sudowoodo, like I said, actually I could have knocked out the Sudowoodo with Eevee. That might have been one of the best top decks I could ask for. The only thing that sucks is I wanted to actually leaf out and then save the energy, but I'm gonna have to Irida because I don't want to get obviously Cyrus then, so. Or they could Cyrus me in this turn, do 40 damage, and I kind of would not mind that. Also, I kind of hope you just draw Sabrina. No, I can't. No, we can't Sabrina. Actually, what am I talking about? Also, still would not mind a Glaceon. Like, I would probably rather go in the Glaceon than Palkia. As of right now. Okay, they're Cyrusing me back in. Like I said, I'm actually fine with that because I'm pretty sure I can attack 2 times in a row now. I think we're in a good position to win this one. I do draw Glaceon. They've used both their things. Okay, let me do the math. So we have 4. So we go down to 1. Then we would have 1, 2, 3. I think I could still win with Palkia. I think I'm gonna play it safe, bro, to be honest. Yeah, they've already used their Cyrus and Sabrina, so I'm just gonna play it safe. Like, I'm pretty sure we would have won either way, but this just makes me more comfortable. Plus, I could actually use Glaceon, and then if someone talks shit about like, oh, dude, you never use Glaceon. I'm using Glaceon now, buddy. I mean, it doesn't matter what they do, I literally just win. Even if they evolve, I just knock it out. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. It's 1-1. All we have to do is win one more and we get the grand finals. Okay, we're going second. Actually huge if we have Mana Feed and Palkia. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Not the best. If honestly, if they don't have Lucario and I can knock this thing out in 2 slashes, I'm actually pretty fine with that. If they have Lucario though, kind of annoying. Obviously, you know, as I can't at least have Professor Research. Possibly a Misty top deck. Probably would just Professor Research first. The only thing that sucks is like I have Professor Research into a Mana Feed. Can't leaf out. But I think damaging might just be the wave. Dude, I was gonna say I kind of wanted this Sabrina, that fossil one, if I top decked it, but fuck, now I got Mana Feed. Well, thing that I won't do the damage in case they don't fucking evolve because I have the Cyrus. I really don't want Lucario to be the thing. Plus, I want more than one Pokemon for Mana Feed. Which hopefully this is Eevee. Not just Palkia. I mean, fine by me, dude, because now we have a Misty too. Although I probably would just leaf out next turn. Unless they don't actually have unless they keep Raolu in. Although I might just Cyrus it. I might just honestly Cyrus it in. That might be the right play to do. Because like they might retreat Riolu right now or just sack it? And if they sack it, I mean, they waste their energy, dude. Okay, they have Lucario. That's kind of annoying. Did they evolve the fossil, though? That's the good question. Now I don't really want to put Manaphy in because I don't want to give them a KO. So now I might just build up on the Palkia in the back and slash with this one. I have Irida too, so I can live like 3 hits. Maybe 4? Yeah, it looks like they're searching for something, dude. Honestly, dude, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I think we need to use the broken card. Dude, we low-key need a 3 Misty. We need a 2 Misty flip. Can we harness the broken energy? Let me know. Fuck, dude. Why does it never work for me? Actually never works for me. It's actually kind of bullshit. We can't place the Manaphy's down, dude. The Manaphy's just get knocked out by Lucario. I kind of wish I had like EV Glaceon in this situation, but you know we don't. So we're basically playing 18 card Palkia without the 18 trainer cards. If they try to like swap out Lucario next turn, I'm literally gonna Cyrus it back in. And I kind of hope they do that. Actually, I hope they like kind of like go in the Cranidos and try to like attack me or something, or I don't know. They might just do damage. Oh, dude, they're just gonna swap out next turn. That's the worst part. I might have to I can't even Sabrina either. Yeah, I kind of just need a Misty flip next turn, bro. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I need a Misty flip on this Palkia. See, that's useful. Oh, it's like, do they have Rampardos? Like, I don't know if they have Rampardos. Like, what if they don't have Rampardos? Then I guess the Iridas doesn't fucking matter. I also could leaf out and set up this fucking Palkia and then Cyrus that motherfucker in. Yeah, that actually might be the way. Maybe I do have to sack one. But then I can't fucking leaf out. Okay. Ooh, dude. Oh god. Okay. So if we leaf out, we get attack of this Palkia next turn. I mean, but like, what if they just like don't have Rampardos? Like on some real ass shit. What if they just don't have Rampardos? Also, I probably should have placed the Manaphy down in case they Sabrina this one in that has the energy. I'm not gonna lie. I think if they have Rampardos, I think we're just cooked. I legit think I think we're cooked unless we get a Misty, like a 1 Misty flip. Because then we could knock out these two at the same time, and I think we could solo Sudowoodo with an Irida. I kind of hope they swap out for Sudowoodo, so I could Cyrus the Lucario back in. Although I might actually keep it weak, because I have this other one in the back. I can place Manaphy as a protection. Actually, yeah, I might do that play. Okay, well, they're searching for Rampardos, so I don't have it. They could get Marshadow off of this, but maybe they had Marshadow. I just hope they get a second Lucario, to be honest. I legit think we lose if they Rampardos. They're gonna go in for a Sudowoodo. Actually, I really like this play. Oh yeah, we have the second Irida, so we can live. I mean, they don't have Rampardos, so if they just don't draw, dude, they don't draw. We also have Irida, so they can't even knock us out. I think we might have won because I'm Misty. Because I mean, they're gonna take 60. I think we might just win because I'm Misty. Because if they ever try to swap out, bro, we have Cyrus too. We just hit them with 3 times. Rampardos has like 150 HP, but like if they knock me out, then they take 50 damage. By the way, it's like 12:19. That's why I'm whispering. I'm not trying to wake up people. Okay, I really would have appreciated a Eevee right there, but it is what it is. Actually, I think they might. No, they win. No. I think if they Cyrus that other palkia, they actually do win. I have to give them this one. Because if I gave them the other one, they might just Cyrus this one in. No, I think we do win at the end of the day. Because they do 50 damage to themselves, they can't one-shot me. They don't have another Riolu down. I just do 60 in 2 turns. Dude, my heart is pounding right now. Like, actually, I'm pretty sure I win this. Because, yeah, they do 50 damage to themselves. I just attacked them twice. They can't knock me out. I'm at 140 HP. They don't have Riolu. Dude, let's go. Let's go. I think they were screwed either way, to be honest. I think they were checkmated. Not like it matters. I guess if they try to switch out, like, not like they are. So we Cyrus it back in and we win. That's game 3. We made grand finals again, dude. We made grand finals again. Let's fucking go. All I know is that I went from getting tortured by Misty decks and I could not make top cut for the life of me in 6 tournaments. Like, and that's not even trying to be on some cocky shit saying like, oh, I'm a good player, I should be guaranteed to make top cut. I was just like, I was getting so close, I would get harassed by Misties. I also was playing some like suboptimal decks. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm happy at least to make 2nd place, and I'm also playing Glaceon too. We're playing against another Rampardos, bro. Oh god. I'm not gonna lie. I think I honestly would've. No, I don't even know, dude. Rampardos are just stressful to fight, dude, because it's 3 basics, so you have to knock out 3 things. Glaceon care. I actually think I'm gonna use like Glaceon like 2 games. 2 Vaporeons actually might have been better. But actually no, because I wouldn't have won those games if I didn't have Glaceon. At least I think the very first set of the tournament. I think that one game where I had either Vaporeon or Glaceon as an option, I think either or would have been fine, but Clap King Jake, my apologies. I can't read. Going 2nd though, Manaphy Palkia. Alright. Although, like, honestly, kind of going 2nd in this matchup, I kind of do like the attack the Lucario, so I don't know. I also have a Misty. I might Misty. If I draw another basic, I will Misty. If I don't, then I'll Professor Research, because, you know, I don't want to waste the energy on Manaphy. Let's see. Yeah, Professor Research. Hopefully just get like an Eevee or something. Alright, okay, never mind. I was about to say, like, okay, that's not really anything what I wanted, but okay, 2 Palkias. I'm actually really fine with that. I should really check the deck list. 1 Sabrina, 1 Cyrus. Oh, this is the is this the guy I beat earlier? Wait, this might be the dude I beat earlier, because earlier I beat a Rampardos from Mars. I'm not saying that it's, I mean, that is pretty uncommon. So I actually want to go check that. Hold up. I'm very curious now. No. This is not the person I beat earlier. I've just never seen people play Mars in this deck. I'm kind of surprised and like a basic, but... Okay, they have Lucario. Honestly, bro, I'm gonna you know, I'm gonna have the Sabrina. I'm thinking I Sabrina here because Lucario can attack, then I get more ramp up on Palkia, and then I could just attack next turn. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Because they can't retreat, they don't have any retreat cards. Yeah, this was definitely the wave. Honestly, top decking into a Irida would be very nice to prevent them from being able to Cyrus my Manaphy in at a later point. Although I have Cyrus, so dude, if they actually place a Fossil, I'm actually in a really good position. Okay, so I wonder if they're gonna... Well, no, they can't swap off for Sudowoodo. I knock out Lucario. Yeah, I'm in a pretty swell position, bro, because I have this other Palkia too in the back. Yeah, they're just gonna set up on Lucario. Fine by me. I could leaf out, try to preserve the energy. I also could Professor Research. Professor Research or Misty. I don't think we need Misty this. No, I honestly, dude. Whatever. Yeah, because we could do this now. I mean, they're not going to be able to knock me out, dude, like anytime soon. I have Palkia in the back with 2 energy. I have Professor Research. I have Osiris. I think I'm kind of chilling, dude. I think I'm actually kind of chilling. Not only that, but I can get the Sudowoodo to 20 HP and then swap. Yeah, I can get this Sudowoodo down to 20. And then I could just swap out Osiris and not get 2 now because of Storm. The only problem is this Manaphy still is at 10 HP, so I'm very scared of Osiris. As I was saying, I'm very scared of Osiris, but I feel like that's actually kind of better for me now. Unless you have Rampardos right away. No, I think it's still fine actually. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of better for me now. Because now my Palkia is at full HP still. And they already wasted Sabrina. No, they don't have. They still have Sabrina. I mean, actually, dude, if I get Mars right now, I'm in a pretty bad position. Also, if they evolve, I mean, if they just evolve the Lucario, no, no, actually, yeah, hold up. No, because they can't swap out. If they put the energy on Sudowoodo, I have to swap out this Palkia guaranteed. Then I just kind of like lose regardless. I might have to switch in Cyrus right now. They're gonna Sabrina my ass. Alright. I could just give them Manaphy though. I kind of don't mind that, yeah. I have Leaf anyways, so unless they, well no, they can't Mars me now. Dude, yeah, because they wasted, I think that was actually kind of a misplay. We Leaf out, they don't have any more swap cards. The only problem is... Wait, no, I just realized we just knock out Sudowoodo anyways, and we just Dimensional Storm. Yeah, they can't knock me out. They only do 150 max. They don't have Mars Shadow set up either. So this is game 1, dude. Okay, this is game 1. That's nice. I believe so, at least, unless I'm missing a key aspect. The Giant Cape is saving my ass here. Yeah, if I didn't have that Giant Cape, dude, I would have been cooked. And they already wasted Sabrina. I think they should have saved Sabrina when Rampardos was out. But then again, I guess I could just give them a thing anyways. They just concede, yeah. That's game 1. Just one more, dude. Like, I won't lie, dude. Can I get like a free win of Misty right now? Like, oh, cap. Kind of sounds pretty nice. Also, it'd be very great for the video that I'm gonna make on this. Okay, well, we kind of have to start a Palkia, and I don't see a Misty in sight. And what do they? Okay, start with Mars Shadow. That's very good for us actually. That's like probably like the best start they could have started with, unless you have a bunch of stuff. Imagine I just win grand finals like this. Dude, I can never get Misty flips. Like, why does Misty not work for me? I don't understand. I actually don't get it. I probably should just Professor Research in case I have a Manaphy, but like the amount of 0 Misty flips I've gotten on turn 1 is kind of bullshit. Like, compared to every other Palkia player I play against, they get like 20 million. I don't think I've gotten 1 this whole tournament. Okay, well, we just draw a Leaf, dude, but we can't obviously Leaf out on the same turn. Okay, Pokeball, I'm gonna be real. This hand is kind of looking garbage. I kind of hope they just swap out. I don't even know what they would do. I kind of need another Palkia, dude, and then Misty flip. I kind of want to just sack this. I kind of want to just sack the Palkia. Oh god, are they gonna just hack a Mars Shadow? They might just have Craniados. I might just be cooked. I actually just might have Craniados. Okay, they have Craniados 100% if they're doing this play. Which means I need to top deck an Eevee and get a Misty flip. I mean, I don't have another play. I have to do this. I think I just insta lose this match, dude. Like, I'm expecting a Sabrina or something. Yeah, dude, they just have everything. I don't think I could win this. Because my Manaphy gets knocked out and my palkia is just gonna faint unless I get like an ear. Like, I'd have to get Misty and like Irida back to back, but even then I think I'm still just cooked. I'm just cooked by the Marshadow. Can't do anything. Actually I could Cyrus it in. Okay, no, dude, that's just that's unfortunate, dude. That's just unfortunate. They had every single thing. We went first and got cooked. We got this though. We got this. Misty's gonna clutch up though. Game 3 suspense. Misty clutches up. But actually, maybe Misty's just not broken though. Maybe Misty isn't broken. Like Professor Research on the first turn, I still wouldn't have gotten the Pokeball though, because that was my third draw. Like it was like the one from the thing. Okay, we have Manaphy, we have nothing else, dude. This actually kind of looks really bad. Honestly, I would not mind that Eevee top deck. Better than nothing. Better than nothing. Also, no fossils. We love to see it. I will Sabrina that Marshadow in 100%. That top deck was actually crazy. Glaceon might actually win us this game, dude. Yeah, I think I'm kind of praying they don't get. Well, actually, if they give me a fossil or Marshadow. I also kind of hope they don't have. I mean, if they don't have Lucario, dude, they actually can't get a Manaphy knockout either, which would be actually phenomenal. Professor Research, though. I mean, if they evolve into Lucario, then they don't have Marshadow set up, and I can just attack for free. Are they going for just full Lucario? Because I feel like I win this if they do that. They do. Yeah, I think I win. I think I win. I deadass think I win because Glaceon. They don't have anything set in the back. If they try to set up Marshadow, I Sabrina them. And we draw Irida too, just as little extra credit. And we have a leaf, so they can't even do that. Because they have Mars, actually, I'm gonna put the Giant Cape just on Glaceon. Dude, I think we win. I think we win I actually think we win with Glaceon. I don't know what they could do. They can't attack her. I mean, they can attack her Riolu, but I just heal up anyways. I'm gonna Sabrina the Marshadow in. And actually, I probably wouldn't Sabrina the Marshadow in. If they place a fossil, I'm gonna just knock out the Riolu. I'll take the 100 damage, like whatsoever. I just win. And they Sabrina me, I could just leave out a Palkia. Dude, I have class in like 6 hours, and it's like 12:43. Like, okay, no Sabrinas. Yeah, I mean, if I see a fossil, I'm just knocking out the Riolu. I don't care about the Marshadow damage. I mean, either way, actually, I think we would be fine. What are they searching for? I don't know. Are they going for? I think they're going for Sudowoodo maybe, but I don't know what that does. I don't think anything helps them if they don't place them a fossil. Oh my god. Is this gonna be Glaceon's first W, by the way? Like, actually, I think it might be Glaceon's first W. I'm not too sure though. Like, I gotta definitely check that out. No, like, I'm being 100% honest. I'm not even trying to be cocky. I win. There's nothing they could do. Especially if they don't place anything down yet. I'm definitely gonna Sabrina. It's just that they just concede. Yeah, they know they're cooked. I just won. Let's go, dude. Oh my god. Hey, shout out the eeveelutions, bro. Hold up. You know what? Hold up. Hey, shout out to the GOAT. Shout out to the GOAT Eevee. Okay, this Eevee plushie is actually very dust. We won though. Glaceon's first W, possibly. All I know. Hey, man. Have a lovely day, bro. I'm back. Water types are broken. Water types are broken. Dude, I still can't believe I won that, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. I guess quick some thoughts. So by the way, this is the first time I've ever played this deck. I literally made this shit like I literally made this like 3 hours before the tournament. And yeah, so and also no one has this list, by the way. This is my list. There is no list that is like, at least, okay, if there is someone who's using this list out there, I did not see it. Like, I took a Glaceon list that I saw. I was playing 1 Palkia. I was like, 2 Palkia, you need 2 Palkia. Palkia is broken, and I played 1 Eevee. Every list I've seen is playing 2. I'm not trying to like say that like, you know, I'm like an innovator, like I'm like a great deck builder. I'm just very happy that a deck that I built back, very similar to back into the Venusaur days, I built my Venusaur deck. I built this Glaceon deck. I'm very proud of it. Like, I know it's more of a Palkia deck, but still, I did it with Glaceon, bro. I'm actually very happy. No, but I actually need to go to sleep, bro. It's like 1 a.m, so good night. Well, now that you guys saw how I won, there's 3 things I learned, I feel like, from this past week or 2 since the Triumphant Light set dropped. 1, casual side of Pokemon Pocket I still love. I still love playing like a bunch of variety of decks. The second is, if I actually don't auto lose to a Misty, I can still do good in tournaments. So you know, the 2-time champion. And 3, Misty is indeed broken.